All right, next one up here, guys. Andrew Berry proposed a new rule to the NFL that, in my opinion, makes too much sense for the NFL to implement it. Andrew Berry wants the NFL to push back the trade deadline by 2 weeks. So do you think this idea of pushing the trade deadline back 2 weeks is a good idea, and should the NFL implement it? Tyvis, let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean, this was the big thing. This was a big conversation back when the trade deadline happened this year. It's too early. Teams still are in the fight. You know, they're still like, we're not. If at this point we're, I don't know, when is the deadline? It's like week 8 or something like that. At this point,
9.
Yeah, we like 0-8. Yeah, we'll sell.
Oh, it's the Tuesday after week 8. Sorry, the Tuesday after.
Like I said,
that's
week 8.
way too
That's what I'm
early.
saying.
Smack middle of the season.
So it's like, yeah, we'll sell if we 0-8, but like a lot of more times than not, teams are 3-4, 4-3.
You don't know.
Like, yeah, you don't know what you're gonna do. So it's too early right now to know if I'm gonna trade somebody, if I need to just punt this season or not. And that's why you don't see a lot of the big time trades happening or stuff like that happening. So I think they do need to move it back so teams can have a more clear vision of what that season is going to entail, so they can move and treat the trade deadline as such.
Hey, Mike, I think like when he gave more context to it when he was having this conversation, it was to me like, damn, they should have been did this. Like, I didn't know by the time the NHL reached their trade deadline. Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. They played, 70 or something percent of their games by the end?
Say it one more time.
NHL, by the time they make it to their trade deadline.
The NHL pushed their trade deadline back. It hasn't even happened yet. In the
No,
NHL.
what I'm saying is they've played, by the time they get there,
Yeah.
They played at least 70%
65
of their games,
of their
right?
season.
Same thing with the NBA. They've played at least 60% of their games by the time they get to the trade deadline. With the NFL, they're around 40-45% of their games that's already been played. So it's less than half of their season. And I think Andrew Berry said his proposal will get that number to about 56%, which they should be doing. It's been way too early. And then if you think about it, you'd have had the season increase, and then the season is probably going to increase another game over the next season or two. So it definitely needs to be moved back.
Are you guys worried about the fact that 2 more weeks means there's 2 more weeks the chance that you can get injured?
Man, it's the NFL. You can get injured anytime you step out there. I don't focus too much on the injury side of it. Like, I don't know a football player who's never been hurt before. So,
or still ain't hurt.
Yeah, so like those they come with the territory.
Like, you just be perpetually, one day you be on the injury list and then you just never heal.
I think they need to, Mike, I think they need to move the trade deadline backwards, and I still think they need to add a second bye week.
Well, it also makes sense, too, because if you push it back 2 weeks, you find out who's a true contender and who's not. Halfway through the season, doesn't give you enough time. And it also allows more teams to understand, hey, we probably aren't going to make the playoffs, so we're not as good as we thought. Let's try to sell some assets to recoup and start building for the future. But at week 8, I guess it's technically in week 9, Tyvis, like I said, because it's after the eighth game or eighth week. But you don't know what you are at that point. I mean, at the midpoint of the season, the Browns, Joe Flacco wouldn't play a snap for the Browns yet. We were on the P.J. Walker era at that point. How could the Browns really evaluate the future of their team?
What a time to be alive.
When you don't exactly know kind of what you're going to get to, you push it back 2 weeks. It just gives you some more clarity on what you are and what your end of the season goals could be, whether it's higher than you anticipated or lower, to give you a little more certainty on whether you're going to be a buyer or a seller.
McNuggets, let me ask you a question, okay? Say we sitting here live, right? Say you in the host chair, right?
Yep.
And Anthony or Earl is back behind the glass producing, and they say we got some breaking news, and you hear that the Browns have extended Phillip Walker. How would you feel? What would be your reactions to that, just out of curiosity?
He might be the best fourth quarterback in football. Great fourth quarterback acquisition. Practice squad god. But he's a winner.
He's going to hold up the cards on scout team. You
What's
know
wrong with y'all?
Going to run the ISO left guys.
You know what? I've never seen people hate a person that won games.
Who hates Phillip Walker?
Who hates Phillip
Walker? Yeah.
All of y'all.
We don't hate Phillip. I just want somebody better. That's all.
So winning games ain't good enough?
Give me Flacco. Give me Jacoby. You know, those
winning
are winners.
Games ain't good enough. Since when has winning games not been good enough? I'm shocked. I'm flabbergasted.
Hey.
Giant Eagle is hiring.
Hey, we need to. They probably say that about us.
What's
They probably say that about us.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't make it there.
I just got word DeAnthony Bell has parked and should be down here in 5 minutes. So let's get to one more question, guys. The Browns announced they will be holding joint practices with the Vikings this summer. Unlike the last 2 seasons when they held joint practices with the Eagles. G. Bush, in your mind, because they're not holding a joint practice with Philadelphia again, does this confirm that Cleveland will open the season in Brazil against those Philadelphia Eagles?
That got something to do with it. I think it will. Like, they switched that up kind of quick. The Browns are going to Brazil. And if you any part of the non-essential staff, you should be very excited about going to Brazil. Should be ecstatic about going to Brazil.
Too bad I'm not on travel purposes.
Yeah, you would. I wouldn't let you go.
You wouldn't?
I mean, to answer the question,
what's wrong with you? I got control.
I think to me, it almost all but signifies that the Browns are going to Brazil. But what did it for me was, I got an email from Steve Becker. I got another email from Mike Lucas asking me about passport information and to get that to them as soon as possible.
Oh, they sending you out there?
Yeah, so, well, why would you be asking me about passport information
you gotta get
if I wasn't going to Brazil?
You got to get Earl vaccinated before you get down there, bro.
So I'm already vaccinated. I would be here.
Multiple other dreams.
But, yeah, so, I mean, definitely. I think Brazil is...
You going?
My wife won't let me.
Why? Oh, well, never mind. You going?
Damn. I got 4 other jobs.
He knows what the answer is. His wife won't let him. Stop telling me about these jobs.
I got other jobs. I do. What? I got 4 other jobs I gotta pertain to.
That's like if I come in today and be like, we going on a guys trip. It's just me, Tyvis, and Earl. She like, no.
It's gonna be me, Mike, and then we gonna send.
That's a lie.
This is what we gonna do.
Be all right with that.
We gonna give five memberships, and then a random 5 people plus me, Mike, and Ant. We gonna all go to Brazil to cover the Browns.
You paying their way?
No, UCSS is.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
They're not getting that off. They might kidnap y'all, bro.
What's wrong?
Like, listen, man, you can't just be. Hey, listen, you can't just be walking around in Brazil.
My wife ain't gonna let me go.
He's still mad about that. She still ain't let me go.
My wife ain't gonna
We gonna take Phil. We gonna take Sly. We gonna take Creative Juice. We gonna take Evan. You know what I'm saying? We gonna pull up. We gonna go.
I've never been to Brazil, but I don't see why it would be an issue. Like.
All depends on who you were going with, man.
I'm going with the team.
With the squad?
Yeah.
You and Denzel?
What's wrong with that?
And Greg Newsome, DBs out there in the streets?
They can do their thing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Hey, man, I'm 30 now.
The mature 30. The dirty 30.
Tyvis told me he 30 now. Like, since he been 30 more than a little bit. I respect it, though.
That midlife crisis.
It's not midlife crisis. That's that grown man age, man. Yeah, listen.
30, bro. Like,
listen, prime time Ty, man. That's how you going this year.
Wait till y'all get to 40. It's crazy.
Ain't nothing wrong with 40 either.
Tyvis has 3 more years in the NFL before he hits 40, so he's got 3 more good years of a DB in his back pocket.
Hey, man, listen. If I pop me in the leave, I'm telling you, I could go out there for a half.
Bro,
now. Safety or corner. I'm still step kicking. Like, this the thing. When you start step kicking, like it's just in your nature. When you practice that DB stuff, like the way I did it, like I was obsessed with it. Like I had Sherm and all them teaching me this stuff. I used to be out to practices every day, just step kick, lockout.
Bro, you in the box.
It's just who I am now.
You are a box safety.
No.
You
listen.
are a bandit.
No. My movement is unbelievable.
He's the hybrid star position.
Listen, I might have
Rover.
Hold on. I done put on a couple pounds, but still, don't get it
You
twisted.
saying River and Lake in the huddle. Left, right, and they got you in a 3-point stance. You got to put your hand in the dirt now, dog. That's crazy.
What's wrong with you, man? First of all, I just check tight ends.
We got a guest in the studio today, so we got to bring in